Robert De Niro just busted in disgusting act after attacking Trump. Career is over? I doubt that, but it is disturbing for dailyvine.com. It was not that long ago that WikiLeaks dropped the Podesta emails which depicted pedophilia in our very own government. Of course, the mainstream media has done its best to sweep this disgusting crime under the rug. However, there are those out there who are determined to root out these perverts hiding in our government and the entertainment industry. Over the last few weeks, new explosive allegations have emerged that point to a circle of high-powered executives and actors engaged in pedophilia and sexual assault. Harvey Weinstein, an influential film producer, and Kevin Spacey, an Oscar-winning actor, have both been fingered as perpetrators in this sick circle. Now, Robert De Niro, another member of Hollywood royalty, was just discovered using the services of an international prostitution ring. But this sex ring has an even darker underbelly that will shock everyone. During the presidential election, the liberal media and Hollywood elites continually based Donald Trump as a lowlife, sexual predator. The allegation stemmed from leaked audio tapes from 2005 of Trump in a locker room speaking crassly to washed-up actor Billy Bush. Of course, the conversation was taken out of context, but that did not stop Robert De Niro from using that audio to blast President Trump as a sexual predator. Now De Niro has been caught in a scandal that will not quickly be swept under the rug, since the acclaimed actor was caught employing the services of a prostitution ring known to hire underage children for wealthy, high-powered clients. According to court documents, John Lickfield, a journalist who works for London's Independent, revealed that the prostitution agency routinely entrapped underage girls as young as 15 years old and forced them to have sex with Hollywood's rich and powerful. This is an older story, but it still needs to be seen. The court documents read like a trashy sex novel filled with movie stars, high-ranking foreign dignitaries, arms deals, and politicians from the United States. Of course, the mainstream media did all they could do to hide this explosive story and protect Robert De Niro from the damaging discovery. After discovering the court documents, John Lickfield wrote 6 people are charged with the running of an international prostitution ring whose call girls entertained the actor Robert De Niro, the former tennis player Wojtek Fibak, 2 senior but unnamed French politicians, and several Gulf princes. Why does this not shock anyone? The agency specialized in tricking or trapping starstruck teenage girls into selling their bodies with the promise of careers as models or actresses. This horrific discovery of sexual perversion was terrible enough, but the connection between De Niro and sexual predator Harvey Weinstein is even worse. Weinstein looks like a pig too, like really. According to sources, the 2 men were good friends. Of course they were, 2 peas in a pod, and were often photographed together, and Weinstein frequented De Niro's exclusive Manhattan restaurant in Tribeca Grill. The swanky eatery was known as a loop magnet for celebrity seekers, and Weinstein was often found there luring his victims with promises of fame and fortune before sexually assaulting them. I'm sure De Niro had his hands in the pot too, because that's in this area that a lot of young actresses want to get a break, and this is like I would assume. Why would De Niro have a restaurant in the city, basically, to lure these people in. You know what I'm saying? I think if you dig deeper, I think you'd find a lot more going on. But let's just move on. Robert De Niro owns the Tribeca Grill, where Harvey Weinstein lured copious sexual abuse victims. So will the staunch anti-Trump actor disavow? No, he won't. He's a criminal too. It's sad to say, you know. Here is more from USNP. A former employee of De Niro's at Tribeca Grill opened up to the New York Post about what it was like working in Robert De Niro's world. The waitress revealed that while De Niro fawned over Harvey Weinstein, catering to his every whim, the Hollywood producer would treat her and her colleagues like human garbage. Harvey Weinstein was every bit the sleazy Hollywood caricature recent reports have made him out to be. When I was working as a waitress, I watched numerous times as a string of young women, some seemingly no older than 21, entered the restaurant for long, flirty dinners with him, even though he was married with 5 children. They don't care. These people don't care. And you see what I'm saying? What does that tell you about De Niro? You know what I'm saying? When this was taking place in his restaurant, you think he didn't know about this crap going on there? It's a front. Entered the restaurant for, yeah, okay, these women were all the same vaguely European, always beautiful, stylishly dressed, and totally out of place next to someone like me, okay. The ritual for his rendezvous was very firm. Champagne, caviar, and an unspoken rule that Weinstein and his date not be disturbed. Of course not. Who would disturb this fat thing there? Look at him. Just look at that man. His look is so disturbing. And then you have Meryl Streep and Oprah Winfrey setting him up with the girls. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you kidding me? They're all in on it. That's why they're attacking Trump so badly. This is what's going on. The pair would sit close, whispering, touching each other suggestively. Yeah, like I'm more than sure these girls were really into Weinstein. No, they were looking for careers that they were promised by who knows who, you know? And they're just dumb enough to believe it. After dining with Weinstein, and the women would often disappear for a while, exiting the restaurant through a side door. When President Trump said that he was going to drain that swamp, it did not just apply to crooked politicians in government. Trump is intent on busting human trafficking rings and the people who prey on innocent children for their nasty sexual pleasure. Earlier this year, President Trump announced a federal investigation into the elite pedophile scandal that has gripped our nation. After learning of yet another dominant Hollywood individual being embroiled in a sex scandal, it makes sense why these actors, producers, and politicians are scared of President Donald Trump, because they know that enough is enough, you see.
I want to make it clear today that my administration will focus on ending the absolutely horrific practice of human trafficking, and I am prepared to bring the full force and weight of our government to the federal and at the federal level and the other highest levels, whatever we can do in order to solve this horrific problem, getting worse, and it's happening in the United States. In addition to the rest of the world, but it's happening in the United States, which is terrible. Human trafficking is a dire problem, both domestically and internationally, and is one that's made really a challenge, and is really made possible to a large extent, more of a modern phenomenon by what's taking place on the internet, as you probably know. solving the human trafficking epidemic, which is what it is a priority for my administration. We're going to help out a lot. Solve is a wonderful word, a beautiful word, but I can tell you we're going to help a lot. I'll direct the Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security, and other federal agencies that have a role in preventing human trafficking to take a hard look at the resources and personnel that they're currently devoting to this fight. Now, they are devoting a lot, but we're going to be devoting more. Dedicated men and women across the federal government have focused on this for some time. As you know, a lot of you have been dealing with the federal government, and it's been much more focused over the last 4 weeks, I can tell you that. I cannot thank each of you enough, and the dedicated men and women who run my staff and your staffs, and getting everybody together was terrific. I was so glad I was able to be here. You start with really a tremendous amount of energy and blood, sweat and tears. Government can be helpful, but without you, nothing would happen. So again, I want to thank everybody in this room. It's a very, very terrible problem. It's not talked about enough. People don't know enough about it. And we're going to talk about it, and we're going to bring it out into the open, and hopefully we're going to do a great deal to help prevent some of the horrific, really horrific crimes that are taking place.
Yeah, and I hear that he's got indictments ready, and he is going to take assets from people who are charged with the human trafficking and stuff. So I got news for Niro. He better start cleaning up his backyard, because if they have found something on these people, they're going down and their assets will be seized. Believe you me, he signed that executive order, and I'm hearing on the internet that things are going down, and they're going to go down real hard, because he's got a lot of names on that list that are going down. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.